Last night I dreamed. It's a blue shirt. It's a Big Boss Man t-shirt. You remember the Big Boss Man? Okay. I had two dreams last night, two dreams that I can remember. First one was RoboCop themed. My brother and I were in downtown Detroit in the near future, just walking the streets of downtown. Downtown was busy that day, and of course in the near future downtown Detroit's being patrolled by Ed 209s. One of them goes on the fritz and just starts firing in every direction. A couple of people are killed. Everybody else is just running for their lives, trying to get out of the way. Thankfully, my brother and I were at a great distance from the one that's, just going bonkers here and killing people. So we get behind a corner, and even though we're terrified, we still want to see how this situation develops. So we're just peeking around the corner of this building. Well, at some point, this Ed 209 spots us, and now it's no longer just indiscriminately killing everybody. It has its sights set on us, and it's coming after us. So this enormous robot comes traipsing our way, and we run down this alleyway. I look to my left, and I realize there's a guy running alongside us. We don't know this guy. He's in khakis, work shirt, tie, and this Ed 209's chasing behind us down this long, narrow alleyway, and it's occasionally firing off a couple of rounds. And at some point, this guy who's running beside us, he diverts the attention of the Ed 209. He runs down a perpendicular alleyway. This is like a business district. There are lots of just big box buildings close to one another. He diverts this Ed 209's attention. The Ed 209 pursues him down this perpendicular alleyway. My brother and I continue running, and then we hear an explosion down that alleyway, and our curiosity is overwhelming. We have to see if this guy made it, or if this Ed 209 just fired a missile at him and exploded him. But we stopped running, walked back, peered around the corner into that alleyway, and we see that a panel on this the side of this Ed 209's leg is just exploded, and there's sparks and smoke coming from it. And this Ed 209 is no longer interested in killing anybody. It's heavily damaged, and I think it just wants to return to headquarters for repairs or something, because then it just starts limping off away from us. And meanwhile, the guy in the work shirt and tie comes back our way, and he's just watching this Ed 209 limp off, and say, "Congratulations, man, that's great. What did you do?" And then he just, he kind of waves me off, and then he starts moving toward this retreating Ed 209. I say, "Man, what are you doing?" I grab him by the shirt. It's like, "Don't push your luck, man. Don't get in front of that thing. You already survived, one attack. Just count your blessings and let's get out of here." And he says, No, you don't understand. You don't understand at all." And he runs after it. I don't know what the personal thing was between he and this mechanical monster, or the OCP Corporation. It's just well, I guess maybe when this thing was malfunctioning, and maybe it killed one of his family members. Yeah, that was probably it. He didn't say so, though. And I don't know if the guy made it, or if he just ended up getting killed. Because my brother and I, we went home. We started watching television, and he had to continue the RoboCop theme. Everybody, all of the local businessmen who had commercials running on television, auto dealership owners, restaurant owners, they were all yelling and screaming and the cameramen who filmed their commercials were just, zooming in real close on their faces. They were all yelling and like the dollar guy in RoboCop. Except they were all wearing the same fright wig that the legendary TV horror host The Ghoul would wear, or Ghoulardi before him. This big poofy fright wig, and I looked at my brother and said, "How is this becoming a trend for local business representatives on television? Why are they all wearing the Ghoul wig?" And I don't know. And once this first commercial break concluded, I realized we'd been watching an old episode of Saturday Night Live. And in this particular episode of Saturday Night Live, there was a sketch that parodied RoboCop. And this sketch was, they were poking fun at a scene in RoboCop where an Ed 209 malfunctions and kills somebody. But in this case, their sketch was called Robert Cop instead of RoboCop. And Robert was just this overweight police officer working in personnel department. He was behind a desk all day and just filing things and pulling records out and everything. He was played by Chris Farley. Of course, Farley had on a police uniform that was too tight, and I don't know what the setup was. He'd been reprogrammed, or he'd received some sort of cybernetic implant, and he was now Robert Cop. And in this sketch, when he malfunctioned, he just karate chopped some guy on top of his head. And he said something. I mean, I just remember thinking, God, this is kind of a stupid sketch. But Farley, he worked with it so well, he actually got a laugh from me. And I remember thinking, oh, if that had been anybody but Farley, I probably wouldn't have laughed. But I did. Then after that, I woke up briefly and fell back asleep. And the second dream I had concerned this young lady. This young lady showed up on my front porch. She's a brunette, about 5'1", 5'2". Say she was in her early 20s, fair complexion. I'd never seen this woman before. But she showed up on my front porch, and she's just, I've been your biggest fan. I love your YouTube videos for such a long time. Can I be your girlfriend? And I was thinking, well, don't currently have one, so, I mean, and, she was just pretty, I have to admit, but I just was really weirded out. But I said, look, why don't you want to just hang out today? I mean, I've never run into somebody who's watched my videos in real life. So, yeah, I mean, come on in, we'll just hang out today. And, we got along pretty well, but I was just weirded out by the whole situation. I mean, relationships don't typically start this way. And then I remember at one point she kind of disappeared for a while, and then just came back and didn't really say much. And it turned out that she'd owed a lot of money, and she was on the run from some really nefarious characters here. So just as that was all falling apart, my alarm clock went off.